It has been a very busy day in Georgia, as you can see here on your screen. This is taking place in Fulton County, Georgia, a live shot there. And as I've seen, a lot of law enforcement officials make their way through this area as they prepare for former President Donald Trump to come to Georgia later on today. And we just received new details regarding that. So I am going to dive into that information right now. I am Janae Hancock here at the live desk. And like I mentioned, a lot of updates are coming in minute by minute. But for right now, I do want to provide you with the latest information of what we know so far, just coming in to our newsroom just minutes ago as we take a look at this video that was also released just minutes ago of officials preparing for the former president. Now, later today at 6:30 p.m. our time Central, former President Donald Trump will turn himself in at the Fulton County Jail after being criminally charged in the state's 2020 election case. Now, he is facing 13 counts, including racketeering, conspiracy charges, and soliciting a public official to violate their oath of office. Trump agreed earlier this week to a $200,000 bond, and in his agreement, he is explicitly prevented from using social media to target his co-defendants and witnesses. Now, right now, I do want to take a look at CNN right now. They have been providing updates minute by minute, but I do want to scroll down. Now, Trump posted that he will be in Georgia to surrender at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, which is 6:30 our time. But he posted that on Truth Social, his social media platform. But he also went on to talk about the interview that he had on the platform X with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. And in that post, he says, 231 million views and still counting, the biggest video on social media ever, more than double the Super Bowl. But please excuse me, I have to start getting ready to head down to Atlanta, Georgia, where murder and other violent crimes have reached levels never seen before, to get arrested by a radical left, low-life district attorney, Fani Willis, for a perfect phone call and having the audacity to challenge a rigged and stolen election. Again, that is a post coming from former President Donald Trump, and you can see that now here on your screen via CNN. They have been providing updates, like I mentioned, minute by minute. I also want to give you all the latest information of what we know so far regarding the other defendants, and that includes former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, who has surrendered, and he was just released after being booked on charges brought against him in Georgia. Now, Meadows agreed to a $100,000 bond earlier today, the same amount as several Trump lawyers that are being charged in this case. Again, he is one of the last people to surrender today. We know a lot of people surrendered yesterday, on Wednesday, and the day before, but again, they all have that same deadline to surrender by tomorrow at noon. Now, we are still receiving new updates as far as the district attorney. We do know that she proposed a timeline today that would put the proceedings on hyperspeed, and she wants to try all 19 defendants at once in 2 months, starting in October. Some experts say that that timeline is not plausible, and Trump's attorney spoke out just moments ago saying that he opposes the October trial date. And already 3 defendants are seeking to move the case to federal court, and that includes former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and also the former president, who is expected to launch a similar bid of his own. Now, as far as how surrenders work at the Fulton County Jail in Georgia, I've been researching all day to see exactly how this will work for the defendants. I'm not talking about Trump exactly just yet. We'll get to him here in a bit, but all the defendants are expected to be booked at the Rice Street Jail. And once a defendant enters the jail and is taken into custody, they are technically under arrest. They are not expected to be handcuffed, but once defendants are taken into custody, they will be fingerprinted and they will have their mugshots taken. And we've already seen a number of them so far this week, but it's still unclear whether Trump will have a mugshot or not. But the sheriff did say that he will treat the president like anyone else who gets booked. Right now, I do want to take another look at CNN. They have laid out exactly how former President Donald Trump's day is expected to go once he touches down in Georgia later on today at around 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Now, he will travel to Atlanta. He will leave his golf club in New Jersey this afternoon to be processed in the evening at the Fulton County Jail ahead of a August 25th deadline set by the Fulton County District Attorney to turn himself in voluntarily. The timing was negotiated between Trump's team and law enforcement, among others, to get the former president in and out as quickly as possible without shutting down the entire city of Atlanta. Now, after that, there will be a bond agreement. Now, again, Trump agreed to a $200,000 bond and other release conditions after his lawyers met with the Fulton County District Attorney's office on Monday. As part of that, he is prevented from communicating with or using social media to target his 18 co-defendants in this case, as well as any witnesses and the 13 unindicted co-conspirators. After the bond agreement, the processing happens, and the Fulton County Sheriff has previously suggested he wants to treat all 19 defendants in the case the same as any other defendant would be treated. It's possible Trump could have his mugshot taken and could be fingerprinted as well. After the processing, he will head back to New Jersey. Trump will return back home after his surrender. There are no expected events at his club upon his return. Unlike the other indictments, this is his fourth one this year. His team expects that it will be a quick trip. So as far as the next steps, we know that arraignment could still happen or be waived. It's possible Trump and his alleged co-conspirators won't have to show up at court for their arraignment, and that judge could choose to arraign the defendants virtually, or he could allow them to waive their arraignments altogether. So of course, we will continue to follow the latest. Here is that mugshot just 7 minutes ago, posted from CNN. The mugshot was released of Mark Meadows, former White House chief of staff to former President Donald Trump. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning of this live desk, he agreed to a $100,000 bond earlier today, and that is the same amount as several Trump lawyers. So we are seeing a lot of images like this week. We saw a lot yesterday, but right now, just 7 minutes ago, this was released from Fulton County, Georgia, the mugshot of Mark Meadows. Again, we are tracking the latest developments as they come in minute by minute. But right now, as we look at this mugshot, I do want to turn things over, and I do want to show you this video that I just received here at the live desk as well. Now, while officials are preparing for former President Donald Trump, and they are preparing for exactly what will happen, I do want to take a look at this. Support continues to grow outside of the Fulton County Jail for Trump. You can see there, Trump won, Save America, that flag there. We've also seen people who are in favor of Trump turning himself in later on today. And we will continue to see reaction like this, videos coming in, and also on social media as well. And as the new developments continue to come in, as we make our way towards 6:30 when former President Donald Trump will turn himself in, KCTV5 will continue to keep you all updated, and we will provide live coverage. And we'll also be hearing from some reporters in Atlanta, and they can provide us with more details on what we can expect after Trump surrenders to authorities.